An absolutely, I words, really, what an incredible World Series, a Game 7, extra innings. What an incredible outcome for the Dodgers. There's so much to be proud of with the way these guys played in this World Series. So the Dodgers are World Series champions again. It was a legendary fall classic. It came with a Game 7 that was fitting. So let's get right to those highlights because there are a lot of them. It was the first Game 7 of the World Series since 2019, and Shohei Ohtani starting the game on the mound on just 3 days rest after starting Game 4 on Tuesday. He ran into some trouble in the second inning, but with the bases juiced, Shohei strikes out Andres Gimenez to escape the jam. Then Ohtani at the plate in the third. What's he gonna do? He flies out to the warning track in left field for the final out of the inning, and that's going to lead to a bit of drama. The umpires gave Ohtani extra time to warm up in the bottom of the first and third innings. Blue Jays manager John Schneider wondering what's going on, huh? But it didn't seem to help Ohtani. He puts runners on the corners, and Bo Bichette unloads on a hanging slider, sends Roger Center into a frenzy, a 442-foot blast for a 3-run jack, giving the Blue Jays a 3-0 lead, and that ends Ohtani's night on the mound after he only gets 7 outs while allowing 7 base runners. All right, well, Max Scherzer cruised into the fourth for Toronto before the Dodgers load the bases. Teoscar Hernandez hits a sinking line drive to center. Dalton Varsho with an incredible diving grab. A run scores on the sac fly, but that saved at least one more. It's 3-1. Tommy Edman, sac fly, made it 3-2. Tyler Glasnow on the mound in the sixth when Andres Gimenez hits one into right center field. Just out of the reach of Teoscar, Ernie Clement comes in to score from second. Hits back to a 2-run lead for Toronto. Now Trey Savage on in the seventh after his masterful start to win Game 5. He gets Freddie Freeman to ground into a 3-6-3 double play. That's going to end the inning. So the Blue Jays are just 6 out away from their first World Series in 32 years. They can smell it. Dodgers are not going to make it easy though. Max Muncy, he's going to unload on a Savage splitter. Hits a towering solo shot down the right field line. The Dodgers are back in this within a run. It's 4-3 Blue Jays. Then in the ninth, Dodgers are down to their last 2 outs. The most unlikely hero comes through. It is Miguel Rojas. Miggy wasn't even in the lineup until Game 6. Now he hits a home run to tie it at 4 in Game 7. Unreal. The Dodgers' dreams of repeating still alive. Bottom of the ninth we go. Yoshinobu Yamamoto comes in a day after pitching 6 innings in Game 6. Bases loaded for Varsho, who hits it to Rojas at second. He gets the out at home. Will Smith barely gets his foot back down on the plate to save the game. Really is a game of inches here, but Toronto still has another chance. Clement hits a towering drive to left field. If the Dodgers don't catch it, they lose the World Series. Andy Pages holds on as he collides with Kike Hernandez. Unbelievable set of plays right there for the Dodgers, who somehow survive the inning and send it to the 10th, tied at 4. All right, so the clock strikes midnight in Toronto, and the Blue Jays' Cinderella run is about to end. Here's Will Smith at the plate. 2 outs in the 11th, and he pulls one. It is gone. A solo home run. The Dodgers have the lead now. How many big moments has he had in Dodger blue? Plenty, but none other than this right here. They lead 5-4, only need 3 more outs to repeat as world champions. Yamamoto still on the hill in the 11th. Runners on the corners. He gets Alejandro Kirk to ground into a double play to make history. The Dodgers repeat as World Series champions, winning a classic Game 7, 5-4. Well, the Dodgers are the first team in baseball to repeat as World Series champs in a quarter century, only the 6th team to do it since 1970. The Yankees from 1998 to 2000 were also the last team to win 3 straight titles. But hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Here's Dave Roberts after the win.
Full of history, and I'm sure you'll find out about all the history. But part of it was you passed Tommy Lasorda for most World, for World Series titles. I think Walter Alston actually has more. But what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's hard to reconcile that one. I've just got so much respect for Tommy and what he did in the game, and so right now I'm just really elated and really proud of our team, our guys, the way we fought, and we've done something that hasn't been done in decades, and you know, there were so many, as we talked earlier, so many pressure points and how that game could have flipped, and we just kept fighting, and, you know, guys stepped up big. So I could just go on and on about, you know, the big plays, the big performances, and, you know, this is one of the greatest games I've ever been a part of, and this whole series, and what the Blue Jays did, and they gave us everything they had, and just such a first-class organization.
You can smell the champagne from here. You pressed the right button at every juncture, especially tonight, but throughout this series. I don't even know what the question is. Can you talk a little bit about how you
I just think it just goes down to just trusting your players. And, you know, it's nice when you can look down the roster and have 26 guys that you believe in and know that at some point in time their number's going to be called. And that's kind of what happened. And so, you know, Miggy Rowe, I talk about the game honors you, and, you know, right there the game honored him. He does things the right way, and he deserved that moment. And what Yoshi did tonight, you know, is unprecedented, you know, in modern day baseball. And, you know, just the young guys coming out there with the arms and just the big plays. And again, it's been a long season, man. We started out in Tokyo and ended up north of the border. So just proud of this group of guys.
Got Jack in the second row.
Dave, what was the mood in the dugout like when Miguel was coming up there in the ninth, and, you know, just being able to manage that game with the way it started and the deficit you guys faced? What did it show you about your club that you guys were able to
You know, we were going to play 27 outs, and obviously it doesn't look great, you know, in that moment. But, you know, I trust him to take the at-bat, and he got a pitch that he could handle and hit the biggest hit he's ever had in his life. And obviously at that point in time we felt real good about it, and we needed you know, a next level performance from Yama, and we got it.
Can you walk through just the pitching maneuvers from Snell to Yama and then sticking with him once you got to the 11th, just kind of what was going through your brain those last couple innings?
Yeah, I'm still trying to unpack it. Yeah, Snell was good. I just felt that, you know, he gave us what he had, and I think Glass pitched before him. Honestly, I just kind of try to push guys as much as they could, and, you know, having Emmett in there, and, you know, Robo doing his thing, got some big outs. And for me at that point in time, I wanted to give, you know, Roki or Yamamoto an opportunity to keep the game, you know, at bay. And then, you know, once he did that, he felt confident that he could stay in his delivery, wasn't going to compromise health. And then at that point in time, even for that third out, that third up, he said, Daijobu, means I'm okay. And so for me, I just trusted him, and he came up big again.
We've asked you about the dynasty question a couple times over the years. I mean, do you look at this as cementing that? Just what does going back-to-back and winning 3 in 6 years kind of mean to what you guys have put together here?
I mean, we've put together something pretty special. I do know that. I'm proud of, you know, the players, for the fans, scouting, player development, all this stuff. To do what we've done in this, you know, span of time is pretty remarkable. And